Is brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. Chevy, America's fastest growing full line brand. By Taco Bell. By Nova Home Loans. Real loans for real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. We've got this. And by your Phoenix Metro Volkswagen dealers. Double dip today at Truist Park in Atlanta. D-backs going for the doubleheader sweep. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly back with you from Chase Field here in Phoenix. Game 2 set to go. Mad Bum and Drew Smyly, two lefties. What's in store for the Brenly breakdown?
Well, we're facing Drew Smyly, the left-hander. Get it right. And by that I mean, come on, you right-handed hitters. Drew Smyly's had some issues with the righties over the course of his career, especially the last couple seasons. Lefties, however, he's handled pretty easily. So this is one of those ball games that all the left-handed hitters in the D-backs lineup are going to be cheering for the righties to chase Drew Smyly out of the game.
We'll get it started when we come back. It's the finale of the road trip. D-backs can go 7-3 on this trip. Mad Bum gets the ball next on Bally Sports. The Battery, where it's nice and sunny on this Sunday in Cobb County, just a little north of downtown Atlanta. 70 degrees and set to go in game 2 in this pair of 7-inning doubleheader games. D-backs 6-3 on this 10-game road trip, which wraps up right now. Watch out for that left hook. D-backs, Bob, can leave 7-3 and right at 500 on the year. How about that?
Yeah, and when we left to go on that road trip, you know, as you said, playing the Nationals, a team that everybody thinks is going to be a force in the East. The Reds were red hot, one of the best offensive teams in baseball. And then you roll into Atlanta, another team that feels like they're a contender in the East. And if you can walk away with a 7-3 record, you have to feel really proud about what you accomplished on this trip.
In the lineup today for Torey Lovullo, and let's look at that now, brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. You mentioned to get it right. There are some lefties in there against the lefty Drew Smyly, including the leadoff man Pavin Smith.
Yeah, Pavin Smith out in center field. Carson Kelly, the catcher, batting second, as Drupal Cabrera will play third base in game 2. Eduardo Escobar slides over to second base. Wyatt Matheson, another right-handed bat in the lineup at first base. David Peralta out in left field. Nick Ahmed starting to show some signs of snapping out of his season-long slump. He'll be at short with Josh Rojas in right field and Madison Bumgarner, the lefty, on the mound.
Yeah, you've got Nick Ahmed, as you mentioned, a single and a double. Nick 2 for 3 in his start in game 1. Pavin Smith had a triple from the leadoff spot, 5th inning in game 1. Stephen Vogt a homer, Cole Calhoun a home run. So a lot to like about that game. 5 runs, 8 hits. Zach Gallen absolutely dynamite, his first career complete game shutout.
And you really like the way the offense went about their business once again in game 1. They took the walks if they didn't get anything to hit. If they got a pitch to hit, they put good swings on it. Just an outstanding effort up and down the lineup.
And now we are just about ready to go for game 2. Ram truck starter for Atlanta, veteran left-hander Drew Smyly, his first year just off the injured list after some left forearm inflammation.
Coming off his last start back on the 11th of April against the Phillies, went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 5 earned runs in that ball game. Total of 11 strikeouts in his 11 innings of work this year, only 1 base on balls.
Guy who lives in Scottsdale in the offseason, got an $11 million deal on the free agent market to go and join that Braves rotation. Let's look at Atlanta defensively. A look around the diamond, brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Don't adjust your set. Same lineup as we saw in game 1, with the exception of the catcher. Marcell Ozuna will be in left, Guillermo Heredia in center, Ronald Acuna Jr. over in right field, Austin Riley and Dansby Swanson on the left side of the infield, Ozzie Albies and Freddie Freeman on the right side. Travis d'Arnaud doing the catching for the left-hander Drew Smyly.
And it's our first look at Travis d'Arnaud in this series. We wondered why they would carry 3 catchers with that extra man for the doubleheader, but it's d'Arnaud after Jackson started game 1.
Yeah, d'Arnaud was in the lineup last night before the rain out and then missed game 1, but he's in there for game 2. Still kind of puzzling why you would add a catcher as your extra player in a doubleheader.
Yeah, they are permitted a 27th man on the roster in these doubleheader games. The Diamondbacks have Riley Smith back there for some coverage in their bullpen, but Brian Snitker and the Braves chose to go with the third catcher William Contreras, the younger brother of Wilson Contreras of the Cubs.
I think they did that just so you could say Contreras a couple times.
That's our Pat Hughes, a salute to our buddy in Chicago on Cubs radio. Pavin Smith, the center fielder, will get us started. And we are set to go. Diamondbacks looking for a doubleheader sweep and a 7-3 10-game road trip.
Speaking of Pat Hughes, he's doing his very first ever TV game today.
That's amazing. Boog still does the radio on Sunday nights with Singy. But congratulations to Pat.
Yeah.
Pavin Smith looking to get him started on the right note, and there it goes! Pavin Smith! Diamondbacks strike first. He tripled in game one. He homers to start game two. Left on left, get it right.
Yeah, so much for that. Wow. A sneak attack by Pavin Smith, a guy that's notorious for his patient deep at bats. Jumps on the first fastball he sees to start the ball game and launches it into the seats in right.
And you mentioned late in game one that his exit velocity has been climbing up.
Yes, it has. I said he was in the top 10. He's in the top 10% in average exit velocity. I don't know if you saw that fan out there in right field. He went down like a ton of bricks.
That's a jumbo jack off the bat of Pavin Smith. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with a large drink purchase. The second this year for Pavin, who tripled in game one. Carson Kelly now. We talked about Carson, who's been on a home run tear, hitting .341 with 5 homers on the year. And he homered in the opener on Friday. Carson Kelly launches one down the line. That one is way up there, but hooking foul. Let's take a look at on Brenly Vision here. The guy in the purple shirt, right of your screen.
Yeah, just to the right of your screen. He gets up out of his seat. I'm going to go make a play.
Oh, no! Man down again. I don't think he had that much range to get to the aisle to get that one.
Let the center fielder take it. Yeah. Just stay in your seat next time.
I hope the gentleman is okay, of course. 2-2 on Carson as Drupal Cabrera, the on-deck hitter. What a start for Pavin. Diamondbacks had 2 homers in game one, Stephen Vogt and Cole Calhoun. And they get started on that home run note here in the second game.
Boy, when you've got a team down, get them. Stay on top of them. Braves team not firing on all cylinders so far in this series, and right away looking at a 1-0 deficit.
Another walk for Carson Kelly. He has now reached base safely in 12 consecutive games, among the major league leaders in bases on balls.
Clearly a ball, 93 below the bottom of the zone, and we've talked about it at length on this road trip. That's how rallies get started.
As Drupal Cabrera had game one off, 217, he's homered twice. I am trying to guess who the plate umpire is, and I'm going to go with Paul Clements. I think I'm wrong.
As a general rule, when there's a doubleheader, the umpiring crew has one extra member that sits out the first game and then works the plate the second game. So
Jeremy Riggs. I'm going Jeremy Riggs with my second draft pick. We'll find out together. 0-1 on Cabrera. That's a fair ball down the line. Gets by Riley at third. Carson's in at third base, and Cabrera has himself a stand-up double. Good start for the Diamondbacks. Homer walk double, not a bad way to begin things.
Center cut fastball for Cabrera. Top spin grounder just gets by Austin Riley down into that left field corner. Anybody other than Carson Kelly running at first, yeah, you might take a chance. We've talked about Ozuna out there in left field. He does not throw well at all.
A run in on the Smith leadoff homer. Second and third, no outs for Eduardo Escobar in the cleanup spot in game two. Eduardo had an RBI single, batting third in game one. He was 1 for 4. Offers it a first pitch fastball, and that's behind the Braves dugout, out of play. Don't forget to play along in our D-backs 50-50 raffle, fans. The jackpot is blowing up. We're over $17,000 right now. We're going to fly past 20 G's. I like to say G's.
Geez, that's nice.
Sounds like one of those mobster movies. dbacks.com/50-50. 20 large if you prefer. Jackpot is going up. 0-1 on Escobar. Fastball up, got under it. Shallow left center, Ozuna and Heredia. Center fielders got it, and Carson will bluff and hold it third. One out now for Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt in there at first base against the left-hander Smiley. And Wyatt, coming off a productive series in Cincinnati, drove in a pair of runs in each of his last 2 games against the Reds, now with 6 RBIs on the year.
See the Braves with their infield drawn in, trying to cut off that run at home plate. Should enhance Wyatt's chances of driving one through there.
Got to get these runs in. Wyatt started first base in the opener Friday, 0 for 3 with a walk. Carson Kelly at second as Drupal Cabrera at second. At third, you can see.
A couple guys on base.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Let's not get things bogged down with details. Looks at a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Smiley is basically a 2-pitch guy. Fastball, curveball. He will cut his fastball on rare occasions, but that big curveball is the neutralizer against left-handed hitters.
Smiley, despite a pretty lengthy major league career, facing the Diamondbacks for the first time ever. Drew Smiley's 7 appearances with the Giants last year. His only season in San Francisco, 5 starts, but did not see the D-backs. He missed a month with a strained left finger. Once a second-round pick by the Detroit Tigers out of the University of Arkansas. He's from Little Rock. That one kicks away. Carson will stay put at third.
The ball got away from d'Arnaud a little bit. That breaking ball hits off the right side of the chest protector, but unfortunately doesn't get far enough away as d'Arnaud pounces on it quickly.
By the way, we have confirmed through our efforts that Jeremy Riggs is indeed your plate umpire. On the ground, smothered by Swanson. One play, they go to first. Cabrera's in at third. Carson's home, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. The RBI for Wyatt Matheson.
Carson off on contact, and once Swanson has to leave his feet, he's got no chance to get Carson at home plate. May have had to play at third base right there on Cabrera, but Swanson decides to come up and throw across the diamond and get the sure out.
So it was Drupal down there at third. 2 runs in, 2 outs now, and here's another left-hand batter in there against Smiley. It's David Peralta.
Another Diamondbacks walk turns into a run.
Unbelievable. Diamondbacks lead the major leagues in walks, and it continues to pay dividends. David hit cleanup in game 1 against the right-hander Bryce Wilson, was 0 for 4. Tony Perez-Chica coaching at third. Robbie Hammock at first. 1-2 pitch. Peralta gets it up in the air. Deep right field. There it goes. Diamondbacks in Atlanta. 2 home runs in the first against Drew Smyly, and it's 4-0. Left on left. 2 lefties in the inning. Both take Smyly deep.
How about that? Nice easy swing. A little cutter that just didn't go anywhere. Stayed down over the heart of the plate. David cast it high in the air to that gap in right center field. And they are not saying Drew at Truist Park. They're saying boo.
Seventh man to bat in the first, Nick Ahmed. Nick had 2 hits in game 1, a single and a double.
Well, that Peralta home run, estimated distance 445 feet, came off the bat at nearly 106 miles an hour.
Well, David has talked about trying to get the ball up in the air more. The majority of his home runs, he says, are line drives. He's been hitting a lot of balls on the ground, but that one was a no-doubter. Up, and away. Our Coors Light beating the pressure. National home run leaders according to each club. Diamondbacks right there behind those slugging Cincinnati Reds. Second in the league in home runs right now. And that's without Marte and Walker for the most part, certainly on this road trip. Nick got a fastball, hits it right at Riley at third. Hello! He threw that one back to Buckhead. Well, the Diamondbacks got a couple of throwing errors from the pitcher Bryce Wilson in the second inning in game 1 on some errant pickoff attempts. Riley had all day to throw that one, and he threw it away.
Well, judging from the official scoring in game 1, I'd assume that's a hit.
Well, come on. That is an E5.
Big E5. Nick hit a ball to shortstop in game 1 that Dansby Swanson dropped, picked up, and then threw away. Was credited with a hit. That ball is airmailed. There's some kind of a target over there at the end of the Braves bullpen, because we've seen a lot of throws, both pickoff and throws from the infield, end up in that territory.
Rick Kranitz out there to try to settle down his left-hander, who still can't get out of this first inning. At 25 pitches, he's given up 4. He's got Ahmed at second. 2 outs now for Josh Rojas. Well, you said it a minute ago, and you got him down, knock him out. They put up 4 in the first. A chance for Josh now. 3 hits in his last 2 games. Had an RBI double Friday in Atlanta. Good take right there. Lays off the cutter. Josh on this road trip, 5 hits. He's doubled. He's homered. He's walked 5 times and scored 5 runs. Another lefty gets a hold of one and knocks it into right field. Here comes Ahmed. Josh Rojas has the RBI double, and we've got you first inning tacos, Bob Brenly.
Nothing like first inning tacos.
The 3 lefties. Pavin a home run. Peralta the home run. Rojas the RBI knock.
Boy, that 4-seam fastball from Drew Smyly is as true as it can be. It doesn't even wiggle as it comes up to the plate. And Josh Rojas was all over that one.
9th man to bat in the first is Madison Bumgarner. Now the curveball skied it shallow left. Ozuna fighting the sun. They send 9 to the plate in the first. It's the 3 lefties paving the leadoff homer. Peralta the 2-run shot. Rojas tacks one on. 5-0 Diamondbacks. Off home run. David Peralta adds a 2-run homer. Josh Rojas an RBI double. 5 in the first for your Ram truck starter for the Diamondbacks. It's Madison Bumgarner, who got his first win last Sunday. 5 very solid innings in Washington.
Yeah, and in that ball game, Josh Rojas hit a leadoff home run to spot him to an early 1-0 lead. Let's see what he does today with a 5-0 lead, taking the mound. We mentioned his fastball velocity spiked up, and he carried it through his 5 innings of work in that ball game. Hopefully more of the same here today.
Let's take a look at what he's got facing him from Brian Snitker's Braves. Their lineup brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealer.
Ronald Acuna Jr. once again leading it off. Freddie Freeman batting second at first base. Marcell Ozuna out in left field. Ozzie Albies cleaning up at second base. Travis d'Arnaud doing the catching in game 2. Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Austin Riley at third base with Guillermo Heredia out in center field, and lefty Drew Smyly on the mound.
Well, Ronald Acuna Jr. got a big scare when he led off the bottom of the first against Zach Gallen in game 1. Was hit by a pitch right on that hand. It appeared to be the left hand, and it looked pretty bad there for a moment, but fortunately he was just fine, stayed in the ball game, and now here he is to start off game 2 for the Braves. Mad Bum with a 5-0 lead. 91 for a strike, 0-1. Acuna 388, 7 home runs now. He was hit by a pitch, popped up, walked in game 1. Acuna still without a hit in this series, and it's 0-2.
That's one thing about a 7-inning ball game. If you're efficient with your pitches and have some 1, 2, 3 innings, you only have to face the top of the order 3 times. You don't get that 4th and sometimes 5th at bat for the dangerous hitters at the top.
Zach Gallen only gave up 1 hit in his 7 innings of work in game 1, his first career complete game shutout. Madison Bumgarner right now making his 300th career start. For Gallen, it was just his 30th. Mad Bum got the win Sunday, said it was by no means the answer in itself, but he was certainly happy to see it as a transition to the way that he wants things to go. Certainly looked like a big step forward for him. Freddie Freeman on deck, then Marcell Ozuna.
Be careful out there. The Diamondbacks have had good luck jamming Acuna in on the hands, sometimes on the hands. Good hard fastballs in, off speed stuff away seems to be the recipe to get Acuna.
They really want Mad Bum to locate better to his arm side, which is in this case away from the righty. Just got a piece of that one. They feel like that lately the right-hand batters have been cutting the plate in half and just waiting for that cutter that comes in out over the plate. Then they turn on it, pull side up in the air. So if he can command the fastball arm side and locate out there, he should be okay. Still 2-2. Popped up the cut fastball. Nick Ahmed. Let's take a look around the diamond at the D-back defense, brought to us by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Left to right, David Peralta, Pavin Smith, and Josh Rojas in game 2 across the outfield. Third to first across the infield as Asdrubal Cabrera, Nick Ahmed, Eduardo Escobar, and Wyatt Matheson. Carson Kelly behind the dish for lefty Madison Bumgarner.
Well, Freddie Freeman had the only hit in 7 innings against Zach Gallen, a single in the 6th. He was 1 for 3 in game 1. And so far between Freeman and Acuna, that has been their only hit in the series combined. Freddie was 0 for 4 Friday. There's the overshift on the first base side against him. .214, 5 homers for Freeman, off to a bit of a slow start. Funny thing about Freeman, he's not quite putting up the numbers other than those 5 home runs, but he is hitting the ball pretty hard. Consistently providing some loud contact. Average exit velocity about 93 miles an hour, which would be the best of his career. Fastball again at 92 from Madison Bumgarner. We saw consistent 91s and 92s last Sunday in Washington.
From start to finish. That's what was impressive. It's not unusual for a pitcher to start with a little more velo, but as the game goes on, you tend to lose a mile per hour or 2. He did not.
Mad Bum goes to the curveball and gets his first strikeout.
Left it up a little bit, but gets a desired result. Gets Freddie Freeman to swing through an off-speed pitch up and out over the plate. That doesn't happen often.
Looks like they've caught Freddie Freeman in a pretty good time.
Yep.
As you always say, it's not who you play, it's when you play him.
When you play him.
And the Braves are slumping right now. Ozuna on a ground to third. Another spin and throw by his dribble, and there's your shutdown 1-2-3 first for Madison Bumgarner, who has a 5-0 lead. Home run in the first will lead off the second. 5-0 Diamondbacks after that 5-run first inning. A reminder, fans, you'll get priority to buy tickets when you become a D-back season ticket holder. Ticket plans are on sale now. You can learn more by calling or texting 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com. A 5-run first against Drew Smyly after Zach Gallen dominated the Braves with a complete game shutout. 5-0 the final in game 1. Pavin's leadoff homer, his second home run this year. Lays off that curveball that time, and it's 1-1.
Not quite challenging Ricky Henderson or Bobby Bonds for leadoff homers, but he's working on it.
Well, you got to get the first. That low curveball is apparently a strike, says Jeremy Riggs. They were kind of the same pitch, looked like. Looks like Pavin thought so too. And a fastball is off the edge, and that's also apparently a strike. Yep, shake your head. What can you do? First strikeout for Smyly.
Make some of the strikes be in the strike zone. I get that they're not all going to be right, but man, that's a tough at bat.
That's an OMG right there. Carson Kelly walked and scored his first time up. We talk about robot umps all the time, and it's a hard job, and it's not, I don't think, as much as getting all the calls right as it is about having a standardized strike zone. You want the same strike zone every game. I know you want to get every call right. You got the robots, the technology, the whole thing, but I mean, imagine for the hitters if you knew what the strike zone was going to be game to game, week to week, month to month.
Well, the game is so much faster. Everybody throws 100 miles an hour. The players are bigger and faster and more athletic, and I just think the time has come to get them right.
Well, they're trying it out. That's one of the experiments that Major League Baseball is toying around with. They will use an automatic strike zone in the low A Southeast leagues. Automatic ball strike system. They say to assist the home plate umpires and standardize the size of the strike zone. So we'll see how that goes. Minor League Baseball is getting close to starting pretty soon.
I hope it works well. And I'm saying that as a former catcher, and I know how important it is for catchers, especially the last few years, framing those borderline pitches.
This one's trying to get down, but Ozzie Albies runs it down.
And certainly it would take that aspect of the game right out of the equation. It doesn't matter if you make a borderline pitch look like a strike or not. But I just think that too many games have swung in the wrong direction. Too many ERAs have been elevated. Too many batting averages have been lowered by bad calls.
Albies does a nice job to track that one down for out number 2. And here's Asdrubal Cabrera. As Asdrubal doubled and scored in that 5-run D-backs first. Smiley is settling in here. He's retired 3 in a row anyway after that rocky first inning. So Cabrera 2 hits and 2 walks in the series so far. He's hit safely now in 5 of his last 6 games on this trip. Pulled down the line. Foul. Don't forget, fans, our D-backs 50-50 raffle on the road. We draw the winning number during this game, and we are getting close to $20,000. We're $19,462 right now as we raise funds for youth sports in our community. When the D-backs go on the road this year, we have a progressive jackpot. We draw the winning number during the final game of every road trip, which is right now. And you can cash in dbacks.com/5050. And Smiley works a 1-2-3 second. In Atlanta, D-backs going for the doubleheader sweep. They lead at 5-0. Nothing lead after a 1-2-3 first. Might be hard to top, Bob, what we saw from Zach Gallen in game 1. His first career complete game. Shut out our Nationwide Vision center eye on the game.
Yeah, when you have a doubleheader and a long day of baseball, you want that game 1 starter to kind of set the tone for the afternoon. And boy, did Zach Gallen do that. After hitting Ronald Acuna Jr. with the first pitch, he retired the next 3 batters and just cruised after that.
Ozzie Albies leads off the Atlanta second. Gallen 7 scoreless, 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 6, and gets his first win of the year. Albies at 169 and 3 homers. 0 for 3 in the opener. This is a tough one for Madison Bumgarner. Albies, for his career, has been a .341 hitter against lefties. And off to a bit of a slow start this season.
Albies has a windup of his own in that right-handed batter's box as Mad Bum delivers the pitch. Kind of rocks back on his back leg, picks up the front foot, kind of wheels it around there into an open stance once again. A lot of moving parts, and he starts out very close to the plate with that back foot.
Carson Kelly wants it down. Curveball left it up just a bit. Right to Nick Ahmed, though. So quick with that release. And Albies is aboard. The throw may have pulled Matheson off the bag.
Must be some kind of a force field around first base. We've seen more bad throws in this series than we've seen all season. Yep. Yeah, Wyatt just couldn't keep the foot on the bag as he stretched out to right field to make the catch.
So the leadoff man aboard for Atlanta in the second. Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud 197. He's homered twice. That's an E6. Error charge to Nick Ahmed.
I waited to write that one down.
So did I. Good curveball there.
Now, Mad Bum's command hasn't been fantastic in the early going. He's missed from one side of the plate to the other on a couple of fastballs. Same thing with a few cutters. But it looks like that curveball is really good today.
If he can spot that fastball and throw a good curveball, he should be just fine with a 5-0 lead. One more time, 4-1, and they roll it. Speaking of double plays, let's take a look at our comparison brought to you by Busy Hard Seltzer. The offensive forces in game one, couple of 2 for 3s.
Especially gratifying, I'm sure, for Nick Ahmed, who's been struggling just to get on base and make some things happen. Maybe trying a little bit too hard. Got that gift single and then roped a double down into the left field corner.
Still upset that I got one right on Beat This. It's killing you, isn't it? It's killing you.
I'm 0 for the day myself, so yeah.
I went back to 0 and my back-to-back Knicks pick didn't work out. Dansby Swanson. Got a fastball in there but couldn't keep it fair. Swanson 178 and a home run. He had to leave midway through game one after he bent his wrist backward on a tag play at second base. Nick Ahmed was caught stealing and Swanson bent that wrist backward. Didn't look good at all. Had to leave the ball game. There's a cutter. But nice to see him back in there for game two. Madison Bumgarner looking for back-to-back W's on this road trip. He won Sunday at Nats Park in Washington. He leads this one at Truist Park in Atlanta. Nick Ahmed, low throw, and Wyatt's got it. We played 2 of 7, and it's 5-0 D-backs. Backs 5-0 winners in game one. They lead game two 5-0. Up next at Chase Field, the San Diego Padres are coming in. A 2-game set Tuesday and Wednesday. Both are night games, 6:40 starts, and you can get a ticket for only $19. Get your seats now. D-backs and Padres Tuesday and Wednesday at dbacks.com. Diamondbacks with a 5-run first against lefty Drew Smyly, who's coming off a 1-2-3 second. Now Eduardo Escobar leads off the third. Eduardo flying out to center his first time up today. Had an RBI single in game one. Smyly really labored. Diamondbacks sent 9 men to the plate in the first. They put up a 5 spot. He threw 29 pitches in that first inning, but bounced back with a 13-pitch second, including strikeouts at Pavin Smith and Asdrubal Cabrera. And Eduardo sends one down the line. Stay fair. It's off the pole and gone. 3 innings and 3 home runs. That's his 7th, and it's 6-0. Eduardo Escobar. That's 7 home runs in his last 15 games.
Came on a breaking ball, got out in front just a little bit, but kept the bat in the strike zone for a long time and uses the whole field right off the foul pole down in that left field corner.
Get your TikTok ready. They're going to be dancing all the way home. Here's Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt had an RBI ground out his first time. Diamondbacks got 2 home runs in game 1, Vogt and Calhoun. They've got 3 so far in game 2. Pavin Smith and David Peralta in the first. Now Eduardo Escobar in the third.
You can see the shadows there at Truist Park are going to be a factor for the next few innings, just working their way out across home plate right now.
Third strikeout for Smiley. 1 out in the third. Smiley has struck out now 3 the last 5. There's Peralta, who hit a long home run in the first, his 3rd this year, and his 2nd on this road trip. Waves at a curveball, and it's 0-2. Did he offer? No, he didn't. Paul Clemens down there at third. It's a fastball up in the air, hits deep to left center. Ozuna backing up, and he runs it down on the warning track. Out number 2. Let's show you the ball that David hit back in the first inning. And let's use some StatCast. Watch this one go. Powered by Google Cloud.
Went down and golfed it to right field. Nearly 107 miles an hour off the bat. As we mentioned earlier, 445 feet into the bleachers in right center.
His 3rd of the year. 2 outs now for Nick Ahmed. Nick mentioned the other day that he felt like he discovered something, taking extra hitting. He can take some extra hitting now that the knee is feeling better. That's been one of the problems, that he really turned the corner, he felt, with the knee in Cincinnati. So he's been able to take some extra swings, and it paid off in game 1. He singled and doubled, 2 for 3. Let's see if we can keep an eye on his feet. Still kind of shuffling around down there a little bit. I don't think that back foot is backing up quite as much.
Yeah, I mean, the previous couple games he was ending up nearly out of the batter's box on that back line. We've seen move it a little bit today, but not nearly as much as he has been. That was a big step back.
Got under a fastball right to Ozuna. It's bright out there. Eduardo Escobar gets his 7th. And the Diamondbacks get a 6-0 lead.
This is a bat against Freddie Freeman. He missed down low and away with a fastball. Comes back with a cutter for a called strike. Then a couple of fastballs, one down low, fouled away, another fastball up higher, fouled away, and then finishes him off with the slow curveball for strike 3. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. Mad Bum dealing early.
What do you think, Brandon Webb, who joins us from down the row here? So far, so good for Mad Bum.
So far, so good. Changing the eye levels, changing the speeds. We've seen Freddie Freeman, who's no slouch of a hitter, take some very defensive swings carrying on here with Madison Bumgarner tonight. But so far, yeah, he looks very good.
Had a double play ball to help things out in the 2nd inning after a throwing error by Nick Ahmed. And now Austin Riley leads off the Atlanta 3rd. Mad Bum has been told time and time again, whether by his pitching coach Matt Hergis, that look, remember, you're Madison Bumgarner. You're the guy that put San Francisco on your shoulders and won them a World Series. So they think a big problem, or a big part of the problem, has been mindset and reminding him of who he is. How big a factor do you think that might be here?
Yeah, I think it is big. I mean, obviously we all know what he did there in San Francisco, which is just win World Series and MVPs. You know, and I think, yeah, you remind him sometimes, you know, it's not easy, but, you know, you do see pitchers fall into, you know, like, oh, can I get these pitchers out? He's done it for 10 years. He needs, you know, go back to what you know. You know, and I think it's only a matter of stringing a few together. You saw his last interview, and we saw some bad interviews, I felt like, last year, where you could see him kind of hanging his head. Not that last interview. He felt like he's close, you know, on turning the corner, and he just sounded a little more, and he looked a little more upbeat. You know, his velocity's been up last couple of starts, which is very good. I think that's important to a pitcher like him that used to throw 95. Now, you know, we're seeing today 91, 92 miles an hour.
Austin Riley pulls another one foul. Bob, what about you? You think that it's a bit of an identity crisis maybe here?
Well, yeah, and I was going to ask Webby if he ever went through a similar circumstance, you know, later in your career after you'd been dealing and mowing down guys and, you know, all the stuff you did in your career. Did you ever have a time when you doubted yourself?
I mean, there's always periods, I think, that come, you know, in and out. You'll have a bad game here or there. I tried not to hang on those too long. I had a really quick mind, which is good for baseball. If I had a bad game, at the time I left the clubhouse, I was done with that, and just kind of look forward to my next one. But as far as late in my career just was cut, you know, straight down. So I didn't get to the struggles, thankfully, you know, for the most part.
Well, he's got that curveball working. It wasn't quite down like Carson Kelly wanted it, Webby, but here's a curveball to Riley.
Yeah, I think it's a pitch that he's using well today. That one kind of did spin out and hang up out over, but sometimes you don't need the best ones. I think the thing for Madison is just executing. I said that in the pregame is just execution of pitches. You know, you'll see a very good slider or a very good curveball, and he'll back that up with one that kind of spins or stays out in the middle, and that's the ones that get hit. So the stuff is there. Mainly it's just him being a little bit more consistent and trusting those pitches, I think.
Well, now with you, everyone knew here comes the sinker, but one of the issues has been with Mad Bum, and he's talked about this. He feels like he's been a little too predictable, which was not a concern for you, a sinker ball pitcher. How big a deal is predictability for a guy like this?
I think it's pretty big. BB, you hit on it there. You said Zach Gallen in the first game. In unpredictable predictable counts, throwing unpredictable pitches. I think that's huge. That's what makes Zach Gallen so good. You can never, you know, the hitters never know what's coming. It's 2-0. You're not necessarily going to get a fastball right down the middle. He may throw a changeup. He has such a good feel. He may throw that curveball that he had a good you know, feel for today in those counts, and it's impossible to hone in on that one pitch. So for a guy like this to be unpredictable is huge for any pitcher.
This is Heredia, the center fielder.
Webby, did you like it when your offense scored 5 runs for you in the first?
Well, that didn't hurt at all. You know, we love as pitchers, you know, to get out ahead and play Torey Lovello's downhill baseball. Of course, it's always nice, especially in these short ones. You guys said, you know, you got to score quick. These 7-inning games, you know, you want to get on top quickly. D-backs didn't waste any time, and I tell you, the matchups, the lefties were all over it. Smiley today so far.
The other part about Madison so far, Webby, he's thrown now 36 pitches, only 8 balls. He's coming right at these guys.
I tell you, I mean, that's huge too. You want in games like this, and you know, in a doubleheader getaway day, these hitters are going to be swinging. They're wanting to get out. You know, they know they have to get on an airplane. These hitters are going to be aggressive. If you make good pitches, you can get some quick outs. I always love that.
Heredia's putting up a fight, fouls off a cut fastball. Another thing that's come up, Webby, with Mad Bum, and Torey talked about this a little bit, is that the right-hand batters like Heredia in there right now, maybe cutting the plate in half, which is a term you hear a lot of, laying off anything away and just waiting for something in.
Right.
So if he can be a little more effective arm side, which is for Madison obviously away from the lefty or away from the righty, how much will that help him?
Well, I mean, you're creating twice as much plate, you know, if you can hit that outside outer third, you know, outside corner, which is you know, outside the right-handers to him on that arm side.
Yeah,
it opens up a lot. It opens up the inside part of that plate for that cutter in under the hands, which is a huge pitch for him. So to me, you know, going away with the fastball first pitch, which is generally what a lot of pitchers do, attack that outside, lower outside corner with that fastball, is huge. Now he really wraps his, you know, he really closes himself off on his front side, so getting to there may be a little bit more difficult just because of mechanics.
So he's throwing a cutter and a fastball now, arm side away to the right-hand batter. Those last two pitches, both for foul balls. Now, when you say close yourself off, what does that mean?
Well, he really stays close. Those across his body, you know, which is something that I tried to do too, instead of trying to fly open, you know, a lot of times. But you'll see him lose those fastballs a lot of times up out of the way over to right-handed hitters, you know, which really, if he's staying really close like it looks like he's doing, he should be able to drive that ball down into that, you know, lower left-hand corner of that box. But it's kind of tough for him, I think, just mechanically, I believe, to the way he throws his body and turns his upper body away.
Here's a look. Is this what you're talking about right here? Let's see. This is real speed.
Okay. You know, he'll really throw his glove arm way over towards that first base line, first base dugout. You know, which for me, that's what I tried to do as well, just to stay close. But it sometimes comes out too quick. And he flies open, and that's when you lose that ball out left.
11th pitch of the at-bat, backs up Peralta. And he's got it. Boy, Heredia put up a tremendous fight right there. 11 pitch out, number 2 in the third.
You know, Webber, you talk about the way Madison Bumgarner closes that front side. When we first signed Madison Bumgarner, I talked to my old buddy Mike Krukow, who had watched him for years in San Francisco, and said occasionally Mad Bum would close to an extreme and then couldn't get back to a good release point.
Right.
It looks today like he's really cut down on the way he closes that front shoulder. He's almost squared up toward first base rather than turning all the way back towards second.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's probably a fine line. I mean, he's an extreme case of really, you know, closing that, and he almost shows his letters to the hitter. I mean, he really throws that backside towards them. You know, and I agree, you know, trying to get back over on, you know, to square is sometimes hard.
Threw a good curveball right there to Smiley.
And the way he closes up, that's part of his deception too. And I think you're right, Webby. It's a real fine line between closing up too much and not being able to get back to the release point you want, and not closing up enough and giving the hitter a real good look at the pitch. And yeah, it seems like today he's found that happy middle ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you turn on your back. It's tough for the hitters to pick that ball up. He's hiding it behind his back for a long time. So, you know, it takes them an extra half second for them to pick that up and see what's coming.
And Smiley waves at a curveball. Brandon Webb will check you out with Jody Jackson on D-Backs Live, the postgame show. Thanks, Webby.
You got it, guys.
Top half of the fourth inning. Let's take a look at our Geico legacy moment on this day. Back in 1998, Cal Ripken Jr. plays in his 2,500 consecutive game, on his way to 2632. And during the course of that streak, I found this amazing. Early in the streak, he started a consecutive inning streak that ended up being 8,243 consecutive innings played.
That's nuts. Started
in June of 1982, went to September of 1987. Cal Ripken Sr., who was managing the Orioles at the time, took him out of a 17-3 ball game to just get him off his feet for a little while. Ron Washington took over at shortstop for Cal Ripken Jr.
Wash is on the staff in Atlanta. He's the third base coach.
Yep. 8 different managers over the course of that consecutive game streak.
So that's basically every single inning for, what was it, 5+ years there? The innings part of it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Josh Rojas will lead off the Diamondbacks' fourth against Drew Smiley, a 6-0 lead. And Rojas has already contributed an RBI double in the first.
Apparently Cal Ripken Jr. didn't need to get off his feet. I mean, every day showing up at the ballpark, knowing your name's going to be on that lineup card forever.
Well, Smiley has retired 7 of the last 8 batters he's faced since the Rojas RBI double in the first. The one guy he didn't get was the Escobar homer to start the third. Josh has had a good road trip. 6 hits, a couple of doubles, a home run. Curveball right on the corner, says Jeremy Riggs. It's 1-2. Rojas, Bumgarner, and Pavin Smith 8, 9, and 1 in the top of the 4th. D-backs looking for the doubleheader sweep. Can't lay off the curveball. And that's strikeout number 4 for Smiley.
Hey, D-backs fans, this season, if your Arizona Diamondbacks hit a home run, you get a free Jumbo Jack with a large drink purchase at any participating Jack in the Box a day after the game. Go D-backs, go Jack.
Madison Bumgarner flying out to left his first time up today. Mad Bum so far on the mound, 3 hitless innings. He's got 3 strikeouts. He just said that strike wasn't as good as the one that I threw to somebody. Got our field mics picking some of that stuff. I thought you would like the way that Madison, I'm sure he's just trying to help out, gives the umpires constant feedback as to how they're doing.
Sure. I used to do that too.
How'd that work for you?
Good at times, not so good other times.
Well, it's all in the presentation. 0-2.
It was all a matter of semantics. If my guy made a borderline pitch, which was the pitch he was trying to execute, and it was called a ball, I would say good pitch. And the umpire would always turn around and say, that's not a strike. I'd say, I didn't say it was a strike. I said it was a good pitch. That's right where he wanted to throw it, just off that corner. And it would always kind of have them back up just a little bit. I didn't say it was a strike. I said it was a good pitch. Oh, okay.
The inner dialogue.
Other times I was more forceful.
Well, sometimes you need to be. Full count now, 3-2. Good thing they didn't have such good field mics when you were catching.
Thank goodness.
Little low, and Smiley walks the pitcher. That's his second base on balls. And now it's Pavin Smith.
Mixed feelings. Always have mixed feelings when your pitcher walks in a 6-0 ball game. You'd prefer to have him back in the dugout sitting on the bench, but Mad Bum will run the bases here. Hopefully Pavin Smith won't make him work too hard. Just hit it over the fence.
He did the first time. Pavin tripled and scored in game 1, had a leadoff homer in game 2. It was the first career leadoff home run for Pavin Smith. I'm just going to keep talking and let you calm down. It was also the 12th leadoff home run in club history. You want to take a guess as to who had the previous leadoff home run for the Diamondbacks?
Josh Rojas.
Good guess. I don't think that counts, actually, because this one says Cole Calhoun, and he just missed another one right there, high off the wall. Mad Bum headed for third. He's going to have to hustle, and they got him. Acuna plays that ball off the brick wall really, really well out there. And Mad Bum runs into an out at third.
That one hit hit off the padding and came right back to him a couple of inches higher. It hits off those block wall and ricochets all the way back toward the infield. Unfortunately for Mad Bum, that one came right back to Acuna.
And Pavin had to stay put at first base, so that's a long single. 8-6-5 with a put out at third. 2 down now for Carson Kelly. Well, Pavin's hit 3 balls out there today. 2 went high off the wall. The other went over the wall. Carson walked and scored his first time up. Robbie Hammock coaching at first. Carson homered Friday in the series opener, his second consecutive game with a home run. He's hit 4 on this road trip. And a rare right-hander warming up in the Atlanta bullpen. Josh Tomlin. Carson Kelly pulls one deep to left field. Marcell Ozuna backing up, and he's got it. And that ends the top of the 4th. D-backs in Atlanta looking for the doubleheader sweep. They lead at 6-0 in game 2. Inning doubleheaders. D-backs won game 1, 5-0 behind Zach Gallen. They lead game 2, 6-0 behind Madison Bumgarner. And a chance to get to 500 on the year. Tomorrow, double the action on Bally Sports. We start at 4. The Suns take on the Knicks. And then at 7, the Coyotes charity broadcast as they face off with the Sharks. All the action tomorrow on Bally Sports.
So all those Braves jerseys with different players' names on the back. There was a time in Atlanta when you either bought an A. Jones or a C. Jones. Chipper or Andrew.
I had that run of all those division titles. Acuna leads off the 4th. Yeah, they had those 2 guys, and there was a bunch of, David Justice had a nice run there, but it was a lot of guys like Jeff Blauser and Mark Lemke, and they had just a lot of good players like that.
One guy that kind of flew under the radar, I stumped my staff on a trivia question.
Whoa,
about
that's hard to do.
4 players in Braves history have gone 30-30.
Acuna skies one to left. Peralta wants it.
Would you care to take a stab at it? Acuna,
5 guys?
4.
4.
Acuna was 1.
Oh, Andrew Jones.
No.
Really?
Really?
Braves history. Ralph Garr?
Nope.
Mike Lum?
Nope.
Bruce Benedict?
Biff Pocaroba?
Ron Gant?
Ron Gant twice.
Oh, all right.
Chipper Jones. And Hank Aaron.
Oh, duh. Dropped the ball on that one. There's Freddie Freeman. I do like to watch you assemble your staff as they line up sort of in military fashion. You fire trivia questions off at them, and if they don't get them right, the consequences, it's a lot.
Well, they've learned. They know their lessons well.
I often think of Full Metal Jacket when I watch that process of you yelling at guys.
Sometimes I line them up by height, sometimes by birthdays.
D-backs have held Ronald Acuna Jr. hitless in the series so far. And in terms of Freddie Freeman, Freeman has managed 1 single. He had the only hit in game 1. Zach Gallen, 7 scoreless, his first complete game shutout.
Well, jumping ahead in the count today is Mad Bum. First time through this Braves order. 6 times he had the hitter 0-2, twice 1-2, and had one pitch out to Marcell Ozuna. Everything just looks a little sharper today. He missed his spots in that first inning a couple times from one side of the plate to the other, but since that first inning, he's rarely missed the glove by much. Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free seasoned beef crunchy tacos with the purchase of a large drink. the following day at participating locations.
Only 2 hits allowed in 5 innings in his win at Washington on Sunday. Freeman pulls that one down the line. And that's a foul ball. Madison, after that win over the Nationals, had a lot to say, as Webby was pointing out earlier. Said it was just felt good for things to go the way they went and see some of the work that he and all the coaches have put in. Alex Coltis and all the people behind the scenes, the run prevention people. A lot of people, himself included, trying hard to get things going the way they can and the way he and everyone believes they should be going. And this looks like another big step forward so far today. Right by Freddie Freeman. That's strikeout number 4 for Mad Bum, who has now set down 7 straight. Well, Freddie Freeman's just not locked in yet.
I mean, he just swung right through a 91-mile-an-hour fastball pretty much in the middle of the plate. You just rarely see Freddie Freeman swing and miss at strikes.
Well, let's see. There are 2 outs in the 4th inning of game 2. So let's just call this an inning. That's 11 innings. Atlanta has 1 hit. That Freeman single in the 6th inning of game 1. That has been it.
Move it along, wrap it up, and get out of town quickly before they figure it out.
A lot like Zach Gallen, that curveball for Mad Bum looks a whole lot better. You see the confidence in that pitch, the conviction in that curveball starting to come back. Called strike 3. Madison Bumgarner, 5 strikeouts, 4 no-hit innings. He's retired 8 straight. Afternoon brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Bark in the park at Truist Park today, and they're barking. My dogs are barking. Madison Bumgarner. Boy, those Braves bats are silent. No hits through 4. Mad Bum with 5 strikeouts. He's not walked a batter. Holding a 6-0 lead, and a new pitcher for Atlanta as we start the 5th inning here in game 2. It's the right-hander Josh Tomlin, his 8th appearance of the year.
Yeah, actually a pretty nice job by Drew Smyly of settling in after that rocky first inning. Gave up only 2 hits over the next 3 innings. He walked 1 batter, struck out 4. Did give up the Eduardo Escobar solo homer.
As Drupal Cabrera, who doubled and scored in that 5-run D-backs first, will lead off the 5th. D-backs won game 1, 5-0. As Zach Gallen 1 hit Atlanta. They have no hits in the 2nd game. Going to give his Drupal a moment to walk that off. Don't forget, fans, the D-backs 50-50 winning number drawn today in our progressive jackpot, and we are up over $25,000. We are drawing the winning number shortly, actually, right at the end of this game. We'll announce it on D-backs Live, the post-game show. Look out. Now see, Albies needs to pick up the bat and throw it to first.
And then throw it around the horn.
That's what you should have done with the glove, right?
Yeah. Severe miscalculation.
Well, we have a moment. Let's remind you as we continue our doubleheader here. One more look. A pair of 7-inning games under the new health and safety protocols for 2021. As Drupal wins the bat tossing contest today. But what do you think of these 7-inning doubleheaders? Should we just make this a regular thing from now on? Schedule more of them, not just for a makeup game or a rainout, but schedule more doubleheaders and make them all 7 innings. It's a yes/no question, and it's out there right now on Twitter, Bally Sports AZ. The results coming up shortly. I'm in. I'm a fan.
I've always been a fan of doubleheaders. As a player, I knew I was going to play at least one of them. And as a fan growing up back in Ohio, we used to go to Cleveland Municipal Stadium, and about the only time we could make it up there to see games is if it was a doubleheader. 2 for the price of 1. My dad was all in on that.
I wondered where the thriftiness came from.
Yeah.
Runs in the family.
Well, you hold your breath on borderline pitches. Some not so borderline, you still hold your breath.
2-2. There's Truist Park in Atlanta. They had 19,000 plus in the opener on Friday night. Let's get a quick word from our friends at Alaska USA Federal Credit Union.
Alaska USA Federal Credit Union. Strength in members. Visit us at 12 Valley locations or at alaskausa.org.
Well, I don't know if Asdrubal's going to survive this at bat. He keeps fouling pitches off himself. He's throwing his bat across the field. 2-2. He's one of those bat smellers after the foul ball.
Smells like victory.
Tomlin does a thing too where it's like he's whispering to the baseball in his glove. It's a little Mark Fidrich kind of a deal. Although the bird used to just hold it out and talk to it. Tomlin kind of whispers. Watch this. Just be a strike.
Please go in the strike zone.
2-2. Curveball in dirt, full count. Kick save and a beauty.
How about that?
That's a scuff ball. He can't use that anyway. Escobar homered his last time up. He'll be next. Then it's Wyatt Matheson. D-backs 6 runs on 6 hits. They've hit 3 home runs. Got a cutter right there. Strikeout number 1 for Tomlin.
Asdrubal was definitely in swing mode right there. Just caught by surprise. That little cutter started on the outside corner, worked back to the middle of the zone that time.
Here is Escobar, a homer off the left field foul pole to lead off the third. His 7th home run this year. And his 3rd on this road trip. Eduardo had an RBI single in game 1. He was 1 for 4.
Might need a chiropractor after that swing. Really got fooled by that breaking ball that bounced out in front of home plate that time. And visibility may be an issue. I mean, clearly it's all shadows between the mound and home plate, but the batter's eye in center field still bright sunlight.
This was Cabrera to lead off the third. Or Escobar, pardon me, off the lefty Drew Smiley.
Right off the pole.
7th of the year for Eduardo. Now in there batting left-handed against the righty Tomlin. And he rolls one into right field, a 1-out single.
Nice adjustment there by Eduardo. Was able to wait back on that breaking ball. Chased one in the dirt earlier. That one was headed for the dirt, but he intercepts it, finds that hole on the right side. Nice adjustment during the course of the at-bat.
He's at first for Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt 0 for 2. Had an RBI ground out in the first. D-backs return home after this ball game. Day off tomorrow. First of two against the Padres Tuesday night. Merrill Kelly and Chris Paddock in that one. Careful. And then Taylor Widener will go Wednesday night against San Diego lefty Ryan Weathers. After that, the Rockies come into Chase Field for 4. Well, excuse me, check swing, and Tomlin just scoops it up himself, takes it to the first. Escobar in at second, and that's 2 outs. Fans, don't miss that D-backs Rockies 4-game set coming up at Chase, April 29 through May the 2nd. First 5,000 fans to the weekend games on the 30th, 1st, and 2nd. Get this D-backs graffiti art cap courtesy of Pepsi, and you can get your tickets at dbacks.com. And get on the 50-50 fans. Starting to get late here. We're just under $27,000 right now. dbacks.com/5050. And half that money can be yours in our progressive jackpot this year. D-backs 50-50 raffle on the road. We draw the winning number on the final game of every road trip, which is this one.
Swing and a miss by Peralta. I think d'Arnaud just missed that pitch.
I think he did. Escobar is going to stay at third. Yeah, he didn't touch it.
Clanked it right off the end of the glove. Should be a pass ball.
So Eduardo down there at third now with 2 outs and a 0-1 count on Peralta. Popped it up. Third base side. Riley's over there. Bottom 5. Madison Bumgarner and the Diamondbacks hold a 6-0 lead. Doubleheader sweep, but the doubleheader complete game shutout. Madison Bumgarner has blanked Atlanta so far through 4. And a reminder, next month D-backs will face the Nationals at Chase Field, middle of May, the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And the first 5,000 fans to every one of those games will take home the first bobblehead giveaway of the year. It's the Ketel Marte switch hitter courtesy of Gila River Hotels and Casinos. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. And he dots a curveball right there for strike one. Wazzy Albies. The Braves in game 1 blanked by Zach Gallen. They managed only 1 hit in the game. That has been their only hit in both games so far. For Zach Gallen, a 5-0 win. His first ever complete game shutout. Gave up just the 1 hit, of Freddie Freeman single in the 6th. He walked 2, struck out 6. And so far, Madison Bumgarner, who has retired the last 8 batters he's faced, has struck out 5. He's not walked a batter, and he's not given up a base hit. And again, if he were to go all the way with the no-hitter, it would not be a no-hitter. It would, however, be a complete game and a shutout. You have to go the full 9 to have it recorded as a no-no.
Picky.
I know, it's in the fine print.
In the bylaws.
There have been some double shutouts recently. It happened earlier this year, April 20th, which was 5 days ago. The Twins at Oakland, 7-0, 1-0. Happened twice last year. The Marlins blanked the Mets in both games. The Dodgers shut out the Giants. Albies pops it up, shallow left center. Pavin Smith is underneath it. And that's 9 straight set down by Matt Bum. In fact, the only base runner he's allowed was the throwing error by Nick Ahmed to lead off the second. And that guy was erased by a double play ball off the bat of Travis d'Arnaud. And here's d'Arnaud.
I think another key factor for Mad Bum today, when he's missed his spot, he's usually missed in his favor. If he's trying to hit the inside corner with a fastball and he misses farther in rather than out over the heart of the plate.
Here's the fly ball, backs up Pavin in center to the warning track, still going back, and he's got it for out number 2. Don't forget to download the MLB Ballpark app, and you can select D-backs as your favorite team. With the MLB Ballpark app, you can access your mobile tickets for ballpark entry, get your 50/50 tickets. We're up over $28,000 right now. And you can get your parking, play some games, a whole lot more. Download now the MLB Ballpark app. Dansby Swanson. Curveball's a strike. 0-1. Madison in that win in Washington a week ago today. 5 innings, gave up only 2 hits. Here he's trying to go 5 innings and give up no hits. 0-2 on Swanson with 2 outs.
9th 0-2 count in the game for Mad Bum.
Get ahead, stay ahead.
Wow.
He's shown real conviction and effectiveness with that curveball. He's spotted his fastball arm side away from righties. He's had good command. We've seen consistent 91-92 with the fastball velocity.
Fastball in. And get it in there. I just said, if you're going to miss in your favor. Don't want to make any mistakes over the heart of the plate in a 2-strike count. If you're going to try to throw a fastball in, it's either on the corner or farther in.
Now, does he go away here with a cutter or a curveball?
He's got a cutter coming in. He left that one out over the middle of the plate, but got away with it.
Still 2-2. 70 pitches now for Mad Bum through 4 2/3. That's Austin Riley. Can hear him in the on-deck circle.
Bigfoot.
He is a Bigfoot, isn't he? Sounds like one. Missed with a cutter away, and now it's full. So far, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Riley would be next. Out to center, Pavin Smith is there. Madison Bumgarner has faced the minimum through 5.
Easy choice for our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool plays today. Pavin Smith leads off the ball game with his 2nd home run of the season. Followed shortly thereafter by David Peralta with his 3rd homer, 445 feet to right field. Eduardo Escobar says, that looks like fun. I'm going to hit my 7th off the foul pole in left field. Our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool plays of the game.
That's cool, but not nearly as cool as the pitching we've had from Zach Gallen and Madison Bumgarner. So far through almost 2 complete games, Atlanta has had 1 hit, a single by Freddie Freeman in game 1. Mad Bum dealing. That's our Gila River game summary. Drew Smiley had that bumpy ride, a 5-run first. And now Nick Ahmed leads off the 6th. Your staff has been busy with our 2-star. I know it's hard to believe, but they've had a lot of work to do with Zach Gallen and Mad Bum dominating today. They've been looking up in 7-inning games with double headers. Of course, this is just since this year and last year. Double headers with a pair of 7-inning games. The fewest hits by one team so far has been 5. That was the Padres and the Giants last September. The Padres had 2 hits in game 1 and 3 hits in game 2 for 5 hits. That is the fewest total hits for the 2 7-inning games in a doubleheader. Right now, Atlanta has 1. Nick Ahmed, that's a fair ball down the line. Ahmed will take the turn. He got 2 hits in game 1. He's got a double to lead off the 6th inning in game 2.
It's a little slider that just never gets to the spot. Nick goes down almost to a knee and pulls that one fair down into the left field corner. Move him.
Josh Rojas, an RBI double in the 1st.
How about this, partner?
Yeah.
Game 1 of this series, the Braves starting pitcher was Huascar Ynoa. He had more hits than the rest of the Braves have had today.
Yeah, that was impressive. Ynoa came up, had a double in the 3rd, an RBI single in the 4th in that game Friday. Atlanta so far 1 hit in the 2 games. That was a 1-out single by Freddie Freeman in the 6th inning of game 1. He was erased on a double play ball hit by Marcell Ozuna. And I point this out not certainly to pick on Nick Ahmed, but had it not been for Nick's throwing error on the ball that Albies hit, a routine ground ball to lead off the 2nd inning, Mad Bum right now would be perfect. 2 balls and a strike on Josh Rojas. Boy, guys see that curveball and call the chiropractor, as you said earlier.
Yeah, he just takes the right amount of speed off of it to go along with that downward break. Getting a lot of hitters out in front of that curveball. You mentioned that Nick Ahmed error leading off the 2nd inning. You see Nick Ahmed errors about as often as you see a perfect game, I guess.
So we're even.
Yeah.
Full count, 3-2. Josh has got a base hit. Here comes Ahmed. Make it 7-0 Diamondbacks. Another RBI for Josh Rojas.
That looked a lot more like the controlled swing we saw from Josh Rojas in the Cactus League this year. He's kind of fallen into some bad habits again, trying to jerk pull everything, but stays right on this 85-mile-an-hour cutter, takes advantage of that hole in the left side, and gets himself a base hit and an RBI.
So Josh, an RBI double in the 1st, RBI single in the 6th, just by a diving Dansby Swanson. D-backs won game 1 5-0. They lead game 2 7-0. And here is Madison Bumgarner. Mad Bum walked his last time up. Tell you what, that's a long flight. You and I have made it many times from Atlanta, coming back from a road trip at either Turner Field or Truist Park. It's going to be a fun one if this keeps up. This would have been one back in the day where you'd have Gerardo Parra and Martin Prado going up and down the aisle with their giant beatbox.
The boom boxes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those were fun. Sees the cutter. 1 out now in the 6th inning. Don't forget, fans, Tuesday, D-backs are back home. 2 games set against the Padres. Coverage begins at 6.
D-backs Live, the pregame show for both games right here on Bally Sports. Merrill Kelly and Chris Paddock Tuesday. And then Taylor Widener and Ryan Weathers on Wednesday. Then the Rockies come in for 4. Pavin Smith, the leadoff homer in the first. He singled in the fourth, 2 for 3. Pavin needs a double. He'll hit for the cycle in the doubleheader. Bidding for one here. He's got another base hit. Rojas stops at second. Pavin today in the leadoff spot, 3 for 4.
Well, the Diamondbacks have accomplished all this on the road trip, missing some really key people. Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, 2 middle of the lineup important bats. A lot of the arms at the tail end of their bullpen have to be encouraged by what we've seen on this road trip.
Carson Kelly giving the other guys a chance to step up, and Rojas has sort of come out of his funk. Carson Kelly has emerged as a tremendous offensive threat. Pavin Smith has done a really nice job. Wyatt Matheson's contributed with some RBIs.
Yeah, David Peralta's come alive.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's the ultimate upside, right? That's what you hope for. Okay, some guys have a chance here. We don't know if they'll do it or not. And so far, for the most part, the answer's been yes.
You've heard me say it many times. Adversity creates opportunity, and those guys have taken advantage of their opportunities.
1-0 on Carson. Looked like Nate Jones, the right-hander, warming up at the Braves bullpen. Tomlin's starting to feel that cutter a little bit more. 1-2 now. Josh Rojas at second, Pavin Smith's at first. D-backs have out-hit the Braves 10-0. Up the middle, and everybody's safe. Rojas back to the bag as Albies try to double him up. That's out number 2.
Breeze on a line drive. That's what you're taught as a base runner.
Brian Snitker with the Drupal Cabrera coming up. Will go to his bullpen. And we'll go to a break. D-backs looking for the doubleheader sweep. They lead game 2, 7-0. Lead game 2 after winning game 1. It's 7-0 in the 6th inning here. And fans, our 50-50 D-backs raffle on the road is up over $31,000 right now and climbing quickly. We're running out of time here. Getting set to draw the winning number in our progressive jackpot. D-backs 50-50 raffle on the road, raising funds for youth sports in our community. And every road trip this year, we will draw one winning number during the final game of every trip, and that way you can win some big money at dbacks.com/5050. Right-hander Nate Jones, our Alaska USA Federal Credit Union, called to the bullpen. 2 on and 2 out for his Drupal Cabrera, who has doubled and struck out twice. Nate Jones does that thing where he kind of holds it out, shows it to you, and then sort of double clutches. Yes, he went as Paul Clemens down at third. Watch the release on Nate Jones here.
I've seen guys that occasionally will extend the ball out behind their backs and show it to you behind their back. Brian Anderson, the former Diamondback, used to do that. Rick Sutcliffe used to do that all the time. Show the ball behind their back and then deliver the ball up over the top. I don't think I've ever seen anybody show it in the front like this. Here it is. Very quick short arm delivery.
Nate Jones came up with the White Sox. Was in Texas for a while. Last year was on the Reds opening day roster. Made 21 appearances in Cincinnati. And now in Atlanta, big guy, 6'5", 230 pounds. Well, he throws hard for a guy that kind of throws it like a dart.
Yeah. It's almost the kind of throw they used to teach catchers. I remember some of the early clinics I went to, they always talked about receiving the ball and taking it right to your ear. Take the ball to your ear and throw from there to avoid that long stroke and the long time it would take to get the ball to second base. A very quick arm stroke starting with the ball right at your ear. Drubel's had some lengthy at bats.
Yeah.
Fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch.
Well, the headline today, despite all the offense by the Diamondbacks, they hit 2 homers in game 1. They've homered 3 times in game 2. 5-0 win in game 1. 7-0 lead in game 2. The headline is going to be the pitching here. Zach Gallen and Madison Bumgarner have been spectacular. How about that? Austin Riley along the railing and sends us to the bottom of the 6th inning. D-backs lead the Braves 7-0, going for the sweep. Nothing lead to start the 6th as we take our ballpark view from our T-Mobile coverage cam around Truist Park in Atlanta. Bark at the park today. Everybody cooling off. My dogs are barking. Youngsters in the house. Good crowd on hand for the Braves. 20,693 for the double dip. Austin Riley leads off the 6th. Now Zach Gallen threw a complete game shutout in game 1. 7 scoreless innings. He gave up only 1 hit. Madison Bumgarner through 5 has not given up any hits. The only Braves base runner, Ozzie Albies, who led off the 2nd with a routine ground ball to shortstop that Nick Ahmed pulled Wyatt Matheson off the bag with his throw for an E6. That has been Atlanta's only base runner. Mad Bum has retired all 11 he's faced since. Here is the Ahmed error. If it weren't for this, not to pick on Nick, but Mad Bum would be perfect through 5.
Nick knew he had to hurry right there. Albies was really streaking down that first baseline. A rare bad throw from the D-back shortstop.
Now Gallen had a no-no through 5. And again, these are 7-inning games, so it would not officially count as a no-hitter. They do count as complete games and shutouts, but they are not considered no-hitters. But Gallen did not have a hit through 5. 1-2 on Riley now. And there's strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Mad Bum, who has now set down 12 in a row since the Ahmed error. Gallen in the 6th got the first batter, Adrianza, to pop up. Then a 1-out walk, and then the base hit by Freeman. So that's how he lost his no-hitter, which isn't really a no-hitter, but you get the gist.
Kind of a no-hitter.
Kind of a no-hitter. We will also say that no pitcher has ever, in one of these 7-inning game doubleheaders, thrown a 7-inning game without any hits. No one's ever done that yet. And Mad Bum has a chance to be the first.
How about this? He's faced 16 batters in this game. 10 times he's had an 0-2 count. 3 times a 1-2 count. Just amazing. Pounding that strike zone.
Guillermo Heredia, the center fielder.
He also had 2 1-pitch outs and 1 3-pitch out when they really made him work.
Heredia is the guy that really put the hurting on Mad Bum. Pitcher spot is due up next. Adrianza, the on-deck circle. Mad Bum had a 22-pitch third, but 11 of those pitches were to Guillermo Heredia, the batter in there right now. Remember that long at bat he had. And Heredia finally flew out to left field on the 11th pitch of the at-bat. But other than that, Madison pitches per inning 14, 10, 12, and 13. And now he's ahead of Heredia, 1-2.
The numbers are just incredible. Through his first 72 pitches of the ball game before this inning, 29 fastballs, 21 strikes, 22 curveballs, 17 strikes, and 21 cutters, 17 strikes.
He's at 80 pitches through 5 1/3. Did not go. Jerry Meals down there, and it's full count 3-2. So this is the point at which Gallen, 1 out in the 6th, issued his base on balls. Freddie Freeman followed with a single and was erased on a double play ball by Ozuna to end that inning.
Got away with a high cutter out over the plate that time. Wanted to come right in on the fists of Heredia once again, but left it up and away and got away with it. Sometimes that happens.
Gallen, before that 1-out walk in his ball game in game 1, had retired 11 straight. Mad Bum has set down the last 12 he's faced. Heredia's putting up a fight again. Remember last time these two met, it was an 11 pitch at bat. Look just like this.
I mean, players call it he's in swing mode. He's going to swing at just about everything Mad Bum throws up there right now. Ideally, you throw something around the edge of the zone that falls out of the zone either low or in or away. But in the full count, you don't really have the luxury of just bouncing a breaking ball up there.
Pitch number 9 in this at bat coming up from Mad Bum.
Cut her in.
Might stay playable. Where is it? There it is. Wyatt Matheson has got it. 2 outs in the 6th. And now we'll get a pinch hitter here. Ade Adrianza will bat for the pitcher Jones.
20 of the 85 pitches that Mad Bum has thrown in this game have come to Guillermo Heredia.
It's unbelievable. It's always one guy. Backdoor curveball for strike 1. 1 Atlanta base runner. The throwing error by Nick Ahmed to start the 2nd. That has been it. They had 1 hit in game 1. They have no hits in game 2. And Albies, that base runner, was erased on a double play ball hit by the next batter, Travis d'Arnaud.
And another 0-2 count for Mad Bum.
Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Madison Bumgarner has set down 14 consecutive Braves and faced the minimum through 6. Sponsor for the 7th inning, Nova Home Loans. Real loans for real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. We've got this. Diamondback starting pitchers could certainly say that today. Zach Gallen and Madison Bumgarner, they've got it. New pitcher for Atlanta as we start the top of the 7th and final inning of this game 2 of the doubleheader. Right-hander Jacob Webb, his 5th appearance of the year. Our Alaska USA Federal Credit Union call to the bullpen.
No call to the bullpen necessary for the Diamondbacks today. Talk about a much needed off day. Just give those guys a little bit of a blow. This is what you hope your starting pitchers will do from time to time through the rotation. Give that bullpen back-to-back days off, and with an off day tomorrow, they should all be rested and ready to go Tuesday.
They had the rain out yesterday. No relievers today so far. Off day schedule tomorrow. Might have to get some guys some work on Tuesday.
Throw some side sessions, yeah.
Escobar leads off the 7th. The homer back in the 3rd. The Diamondbacks never in their entire history have had back-to-back complete game shutouts. It's never happened. We're 3 outs away. No pitcher since they started the 7-inning doubleheaders has ever gone all 7 innings without giving up a hit. It will not count as a no-hitter. A no-hitter has to be 9. It will count as a complete game and a shutout, as it did for Zach Gallen in game 1. Atlanta so far in this doubleheader has played 13 innings. They have 1 hit. A Freddie Freeman single in the 6th inning of game 1. That's been all the offense.
And that ball wasn't hit particularly well. He cued it off the end of the bat, just hit it to a good spot in shallow right center field. You may recall that great effort Cole Calhoun made diving at it, even though he was probably about 15 feet away from it. But that's what you do when a guy's throwing a no-hitter. You throw your body in front of the ball and hope for the best.
One away in the 7th. Escobar goes down swinging, brings up Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt had an RBI ground out in the first part of that 5-run first for the Diamondbacks against Drew Smyly. D-backs today have hit 3 home runs. Pavin Smith a leadoff homer on the game's first pitch. David Peralta later in that first added a 2-run homer. Escobar a solo shot in the 3rd. Vogt and Calhoun had homers in game 1. Just crossed the $35,000 threshold in the 50-50. $35,000. Winning number coming up. Jody Jackson, Brandon Webb, D-backs Live post-game show. They'll have a whole lot to talk about. Good thing we had Webby here today.
Yeah, always love having Webby.
Starting pitching, the headliner today. Diamondbacks looking for a 7-3 road trip. It'll get it back to 500 on the year. Although Madison will have his work cut out for him, Atlanta's top of the order due up in the home half here. Acuna, Freeman, Ozuna. 1, 2, and 3. Webb, 2 batters, 2 strikeouts, 2 down now for Peralta.
Good changeup from Webb. He's thrown a few of them already in this ball game.
David, one of the highlights. Long home run out to right field, his 3rd of the year back in the 1st. If you look at Madison Bumgarner's road trip in its entirety here, go back to a week ago today in Washington, the finale of that series. 5 innings of work. He gave up only 2 hits in that start. He's gone 6 innings so far today and not given up any hits. Another good day for Pavin Smith, a triple in game 1. 3 hits, including a home run in game 2.
That changeup again.
Jacob Webb, big right-hander.
changeup.
Left it up. Peralta lines it to Acuna. And here we go. Madison Bumgarner looking for the complete game shutout. 3 outs to go. Madison Bumgarner is 3 outs away from matching Zach Gallen, who worked 7 scoreless innings of 1 hit ball in game 1. Madison through 6 so far has not given up any hits. He has retired the last 14 Braves he's faced.
Boy, and all the numbers, obviously you go 6 innings of no-hit baseball, you don't walk a man, you strike out 6. Obviously that's very encouraging, but given where Mad Bum came from coming out of the Cactus League, his first couple starts of the year, a lot of doubt around baseball, a lot of doubt around Diamondbacks fans, probably a lot of doubt in the clubhouse, but man, has he come a long way in his last 3 starts.
Taylor Clark has started to loosen up down in the bullpen. Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman, and Marcell Ozuna top of the order in the Atlanta 7th. Mad Bum about to throw pitch number 90 here. Madison Bumgarner's last complete game 2017 with the Giants, his last shutout 2016 with San Francisco. He has 15 career complete games and 6 career shutouts. The longest he's ever taken a no-hitter, 7 2/3, back in September of 2015 against the Padres.
Boy, it's just remarkable how easily he's gotten ahead in counts today. 11-0-2 counts. This is the 5th 1-2 count.
Acuna does not have a hit in the series. Just missed with that cutter down and away. And it's 2-2. You do start to look at that pitch count a little bit right here. We know Torey Lovullo is. They have Taylor Clark warming up. The only Atlanta base runner, Ozzie Albies, to lead off the 2nd on a Nick Ahmed throwing error. He was erased on a double play ball. Freddie Freeman will be next. Then it's Marcell Ozuna. 3-2 on Ronald Acuna Jr. Got him. 7 strikeouts and 15 in a row set down by Mad Bum.
Backdoor cutter, maybe got to the corner, but that, I hate to say this, but he's been calling it all day long.
Freeman has struck out twice. No pitcher since they started these 7-inning doubleheaders has ever thrown 7 no-hit innings. Mad Bum would be the first. 95 pitches. In the air along the left field line, Ahmed and Peralta. Nick in foul ground, and he's got it. 2 outs in the 7th. Madison said a couple of starts ago he felt like he was close to getting over the mountaintop, getting over to the other side of things. And he's had 2 very impressive starts on this road trip.
That's a very impressive play by Nick Ahmed. He was shaded up the middle of the field for Freddie Freeman. Had to run a long way to get that one in foul territory.
He has faced the minimum through 6 2/3. Marcell Ozuna 0 for 2. Right field. Rojas is there. Madison Bumgarner. A complete game shutout. No hits for the Braves in 7. And the Diamondbacks sweep the doubleheader. They win game 2, 7-0. Look at that right there. That says it all.
Yeah, Mad Bum is not one for dog piles in the middle of the field, but his teammates are going to mob him anyway.
He retired the final 17 batters he faced. He did not give up a walk. He did not give up a hit. He faced the minimum through 7. And the Diamondbacks get to 500 on the year. They are now 11-11. And on this long, tough 10-game road trip, they go 7-3. How about that?
Oh, that was fun to watch. That was vintage Mad Bum right there. And once again, he maintained his velocity throughout all 7 innings. Sharpest curveball we've seen him had this year, and the best command of the cutter we've seen him had this year. And that results in a 7-inning no-hitter.
16th career complete game, 7th career shutout for Madison Bumgarner. His 2nd consecutive win on this road trip. He gets to 2-2 on the year. And the D-backs head home, a 500 ball club, 7 wins out of 10 on this road trip. Welcome to the Diamondbacks, Madison Bumgarner. He has arrived. That was something to see.
Oh, boy.
Well, a lot to talk about on D-backs Live, the post-game show. There's the pitching coach right there, Matt Hergis. Jody and Webby, that was a lot of fun, guys.
It absolutely was. What a day for pitching. Zach Gallen, Madison Bumgarner. We kind of joked about, could Bumgarner top what Zach Gallen did, Webby? He absolutely did. He did not give up a hit. Unofficially, that is a no-hitter.
I don't even know how to feel on. I mean, how are you supposed to feel about that? That is amazing. I mean, I'm counting that as a no-hitter in my books if I was him. Unbelievable game. 1 hit all in the 2 games. Just an incredible 2 games of pitching by Zach Gallen, Mad Bum. Wow, that was a fun day.
Absolutely was, and love to see those D-backs fans, maybe friends and family there in Atlanta. What a way to end this road trip. You talk about 2 7-inning games, so 14 innings, 1 hit, did not give up a run. Offense early in this one. With Bumgarner, you got to be happy watching him, seeing him get rewarded all that hard work. He looks like a different pitcher. He got ahead today. Was that the difference?
Yeah, I mean, that's always huge for any pitcher working ahead. He was in and around the strike zone all the time. BB said it too, which was perfect. When he missed on the pitcher's side. He didn't miss over the plate. If he was going in, he would miss even further in a little bit, maybe get a foul ball or a take, but he never missed a lot over the middle of the plate, and that's where that was the difference, I think, a lot for today for him. When we're seeing him get hit, that's when he's missing over the middle of the plate. That did not happen a lot today.
No, it did not, and this is a tough Braves team. Diamondbacks rebounding now to 11-11 on the season, 7-3 on this road trip, and after Madison Bumgarner put on a show against the Reds, 5 innings. We are going to welcome Madison Bumgarner to our post-game show, D-backs Live, right now. Madison, Jody Jackson, and Brandon Webb with you. Congratulations. I know it's an unofficial no-hitter, but we are celebrating it as a no-hitter. 7 innings, no hits, complete game shutout. Madison, tell me how it feels right now to be able to put up that kind of performance for the D-backs.
It feels good. I want to say 2 things, then I'm going to go celebrate with the guys. I want to thank these shadows in Atlanta. They helped me out a good bit. That's pretty awesome. And I want to thank Rob Manfred for making these 7-inning games.
All right, there you go.
All
Drop
right.
the mic. 7-inning game. Brandon, you were talking about that as a pitcher. And, do you have a different mindset maybe when you go into a 7-inning game?
Yeah, I think so. And again, we did have the 2-inning games. This was also a doubleheader getaway game. To me, we always feel like when I was pitching on getaway days, these guys, the teams are going to come out swinging. They're going to be aggressive. So if you're in the strike zone and you can make some quality pitches, you can get some quick outs. Madison Bumgarner, did a very good job of that in the strike zone the whole time, made some quick outs. Which kept his pitch count down, except for Heredia, who saw 20 pitches, out of Madison today. He did a pretty good job of being very efficient.
How about Acuna? Not a hit in the series.
Unbelievable. I mean, he took some hacks and he hit a couple balls that were hard, but very strange. I wasn't looking for him to get a hit, but yeah, he did not do much.
All right, a lot to talk about here. What a performance from Gallen and Bumgarner, sweeping the doubleheader. Coming up, it's D-Backs Live, our post-game show from Atlanta. We'll get reaction to this one as the D-Backs absolutely wallop the Braves today with 2 victories. Stay with us. We've got the post-game show, and it's coming your way next here on Bally Sports. What a celebration in Atlanta.